Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a short little knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Kizer Amicus button lock. This is not an expensive knife, not at all. I will link it right down below in the description so you guys can check it out. It does help my channel when you use those links before you buy something, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to Kizer for providing this knife for review. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Let's go ahead and get a measurement of this knife. Overall length is coming in at, it's actually under 7 inches. It's 6.85. Blade length is 3 inches. Cutting edge is 2.85 inches. I mean, honestly, a pretty good blade to handle ratio, all things considered. Just a couple of size comparisons today. Let's do the, where are you? The Ontario Rat Model 2. Let's do the Spyderco Para 3. I think these are probably good ones. How about the CGRB Pyrite? How about the Civivi Elementum button lock? I think that's also another good one to do. We're a little bit high up there today. And then finally, maybe the Benchmade Bug Out, which is a little bit longer. Okay, how's the action? The action is very good. And actually, this is pretty snappy. You guys can hear it. It's got a pretty good breakaway. The detent, which is actually the plunge lock, is one of the better ones that I have felt. I think this is what separates, sometimes this is what separates the newer satisfying button locks from some of the older sort of coming out of the caves and discovering fire for the first time button locks. This is snappy and it feels good, and the flipper tab works. In fact, you can see me actually, I'm expecting it to be light and I'm slipping off of it. But when you actually use it the way that it's supposed to be used, and I say that because most button lock flippers are a little bit light on the detent, right? Or what's acting as the detent versus a traditional ball. Yeah, no, this works. And I mean, you have like that swingy, sort of that free swinging action that we all expect from a button lock. The action is very, very good. So I'm really happy with that. Let's do carry profile thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. It's about the same. Length and height up against the PM2 and the Para 3. Where's the PM2? There it is. Yeah, this isn't going to take up much room in the pocket. It's shorter than the Para 3 and the PM2, and it's nowhere near as tall as either. Materials, what are we looking at? On Kizer's website, because I don't think it actually says on the knife, it says that the blade steel is 9CR18 MOV, which I do not have a problem with at all. And when it comes to the whatever CR whatever steels, 9CR18 MOV is definitely one of the better ones. There are definitely crappy ones, like the 7s and some of the 8s, and definitely the 3s. That's, I didn't even want to think about that. Okay, that's pretty disturbing stuff. 9CR18 MOV is fantastic. I don't have a problem with that, especially at this price point, so that's fine. The scales are peel ply textured G10, and then we do have, let's look on the inside. We should have, you know what? Those are solid G10 scales. No wonder it feels so lightweight. You do have some steel bits up here, which we might not be able to actually see. There we go. See that little cartridge in there? That is so that the bearings have something to ride on besides G10, which would not be good. So it should come in very, very lightweight. In fact, this I'm going to guess this is well under 3 ounces, actually. It's under 3 ounces, 2.82, which is actually a perfect ratio. And when we go an ounce, you know, the ratio that some people look for is an ounce of weight to an inch of blade. It's about perfect, and it should balance that way as well. Oh, it does. Oh, it's right behind the pivot. Not that that really matters, especially on a knife that's this small and compact, but it does for people who care. It balances, right? That's what I mean. Let's go ahead and do a hardware check. I'm going to get out my tools as per usual. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. We got a T8. There we go. So it's going to be a T8 pivot, because why would it not be? And then I believe all the body screws are still going to be T6. They are. We got one, and that's for the cartridge, the pivot surface cartridge. And then we have 2 down here for each of the standoffs on each side. We got 2 pocket clip screws, which are milled out on both sides. Lefties, yay, they did it. Fantastic. That's great. like 1 in 10 companies do it, which is the exact same percentage of people who are left-handed. If that's actually the case, that's a cruel irony. But anyways, it's not minimal hardware and it's T6 screws, but this isn't going to be difficult to take apart. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. Let's go ahead and measure blade stock thickness and then get into the good old meat and potatoes. Blade stock thickness is coming in at, 102 thousandths. Whoops. Yeah, 102 thousandths. Wow, that's a nice thin blade. Okay. Let's move on here. This is pretty straightforward. We have a nice short little button lock. And you know what? It works. Kizer's clip is, in my opinion, too long for this handle. We've got a clip that would work better on a longer knife. And the reason is because you already are kind of cramped in here. The pocket clip is fine. It goes straight, then drops, and then comes up and comes over to a forward bill, which isn't as bad as the Civivi Loch Ness Monster clip, but it's still kind of grabby. It should have been shorter and it should have ended right here. I don't mind the straight and the drop, but it should have ended right here. That way we end on a, on a ramp, and those ramps make it easier to push in and out of your pocket. Normally, a ramp would make it rise to meet. With this flat, straight bill, some people are going to be mashing their pocket seams into it, which is frustrating. But it's not bad. It's okay. The edges have almost been radiused, so those are very comfortable, and the G10 does provide meaningful traction without being too aggressive. The button in the closed position is not quite recessed. It's still slightly above there, but the amount of travel is minimal, so it's not the crunch or the long, dramatic button push of the Kizer Cormorant, which some people will argue with me on, but that's fine. I don't like how you have to, go on a voyage, for lack of a better way to explain that, to disengage the lock. I am not interested in traveling to the center of the earth every time I want to disengage the button lock. I'm actively pursuing an argument here. This is fine. This is minimal, right? You push it and it drops. That's all I need it to do. I can also push it as hard as I want and there's no drag, right? Meaning that that's valid. My complaints there are valid. Some companies cannot figure that out. They're like, oh, you just got to push it with a normal... No, I can push it as hard as I want. It doesn't matter who I am. Some people are going to naturally push harder than other people. And when they do that on the models that are not designed correctly, they drag a little bit. This doesn't, so no worries there. Lefties, you'll of course be operating with your index finger, which is no problem at all. Choking up, you're still out of the way of the button. There's no forward choil, so you don't have to worry about your finger or your palm coming down on that button in the choked up position. There's jimping that actually extends out to a functional part of the spine, which is great. The blade is not a new blade shape. It's a drop point blade or some variation of that or whatever, right? It's a drop pointy style blade. Blade Shape Police will always try to chase me and chase me with their handcuffs, right? But I'm going to call this a drop point. We have, and if it is called something different, that's fine. Here, you can see the blade, so you can see what it is. It is this shape. The flat up here runs out about 70% the length of the blade, and it comes down to a pretty darn thin cutting edge. So that'll be nice for general EDC tests. There's nothing in the cutting path. Nice tip. I would venture to guess there's at least one other version of this knife. So if you don't want all black, you can probably get the other version. If not, I guess all black it is. But I didn't see one. It's just Kizer usually offers at least one other variant. We have a little lanyard hole, which is fine. Like I said, clip is mountable for both left and right-handed people. The retention's fine. The carry depth is fine. I just wish the clip is a little bit different. We have a stop pin located in its usual spot. Like I said, runs on bearings. No blade play up, down, left to right, which is great. No stick, no pivot lash. Very smooth and consistent action. One of the better detents that I've felt. It's the plunge lock acting as the detent, but one of the better button lock detents I've ever felt. Excuse me. This is a $48 knife. It's on the shorter side, but it's a good knife. It's well designed. It's straightforward. It's not doing anything that we haven't seen before, but Kizer has figured out how to make a button lock. And if they make all of their button locks like this one, they will all be great. Honestly, I kind of like the action on this one better than almost any other Kizer button lock. But it's not just Kizer's line. I think this is one of the better budget button locks out there when it comes to action. As far as design goes, there are definitely, people are going to have preferences for other knives for sure. It's hard to argue with this thing at $48. I mean, it's just a straight up good knife. I don't know how memorable it is, but if it's any indication of, Kizer's ability to put together a good button lock moving forward, then I've got faith, and I'm absolutely interested to see what else they can do. The button lock craze is clearly not over, and that's totally fine with me. I don't really care. There are way too many options out there for anybody complaining about, I can't wait for the button lock because every other knife is a button lock. It absolutely is not. You have bajillions of choices, so many choices. You have no idea. You've never even tried to look barely outside of, I guess, the button locks. We all have way too many choices to get hung up on the things that we don't want or the things that we're tired of. So I'm glad the button locks are still around. I'd like to see them continue to be refined and honed and perfected and all of that. I think this is a great one for $48. Yeah, I'm going to put it in my cheap knives I like playlist. I'm also going to put it in my recommended knives playlist. It's just, it's a straightforward good knife. Can't go wrong at $48. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.